it's Nancy, purevitalifestyle.com. How are you doing? I wanted to talk to you today about my most recent book I started reading about 2 days ago, Spiritual Divorce by Debbie Ford. And quite honestly, I am actually going through a divorce myself, but that's not the reason I picked up the book. The reason I picked up the book is because it's written by Debbie Ford. So that in itself is enough reason to pick up the book. And I'm actually not applying the wisdom and the information into my life with respect to my divorce situation. I'm applying it to just general parts of the things that I need to learn and understand about myself and people in my life. I've done so much of the work already in terms of, forgiving myself and forgiving my former husband and the situation, and kind of really getting the lessons that I needed to learn and why I attracted him to my life to start with. So I'm at a very, very good place in my heart and in my mind with respect to that. So like I say, that's not my personal reason for purchasing this book. And but I would highly, highly recommend it to anybody, divorce or no divorce. The exercises that I've gone through in the first few chapters, I actually just applied to a recent experience that I had on the weekend that just passed, and kind of sent me for a bit of a spin. And so I've really, kind of delved a little bit deeper, and I'm always asking myself, and I'm always asking, what are the lessons I'm supposed to be learning? And, did I attract this situation to my life? And if I did, and if I need to take full responsibility for it, what was my part? What was my part? What were the lessons? So Debbie reminds us in this book, as in some of the other books, we meet everybody in our life when we do, because we need to, because they're there to offer us lessons. They're there to offer us lessons and experiences, ways to look deeper at ourselves, take responsibility for ourselves, and really move towards that place of being connected with our higher self and the magnificence of who we are, getting to a place of being whole and really, really loving ourselves, appreciating ourselves, accepting ourselves. She points out, it's interesting, and I believe it's true, we're all on a journey, every one of us. Whether we understand it, whether we acknowledge it, whether we admit to it or recognize it, we are all on a journey. And I know that each and every one of us has difficult times in our lives at different points for different reasons. I have some friends that live in California, and I keep hearing about how difficult the economy is in California right now, and people are very, really struggling and feeling very fearful and stressed out, worried, overwhelmed. And I'm sure even yourselves, you could relate to some of those emotions at some point in time in your life, and maybe not overwhelmed with a lot of fearful thoughts, but everybody has points in their life where they do experience being scared, being overwhelmed, being frustrated, being fed up, feeling insecure, feeling unloved, feeling unworthy, feeling frustrated, feeling just maybe a little bit depressed, anxious, nervous. Do any of those things sound familiar to you? And it might not be something that's going on all the time, but there's moments, we all have moments of those emotions coming into our lives. And it's in those difficult times that we really kind of need to dig deep and remind ourselves, this is happening for our higher benefit. This is happening for our higher self. There is a purpose to all of this. There is a purpose that I'm just miserable right now. There's a purpose in the fact that, I'm having these awful experiences and these people coming into my life, and I'm unhappy and I'm miserable and I'm confused and I'm fed up and I'm overwhelmed, and why? Like, what's it going on for? It's part of our path, believe it or not. And some days you might want to say, like, enough already. But you know what? It's common to all of us. It's common to all of us. And if we could learn to surrender, that's one of the messages that I'm receiving clearly in all of the reading that I do. If we could learn to surrender, if we could give up our need to want to run our lives and control the universe and control the outcome, and assume that, our human minds have the ability to, dictate the perfect outcome for us at all times. If we could just surrender to a greater consciousness, to a place of feeling loved and recognizing that we are loved, our stress level would be reduced so much. I found on the weekend with the situation that I needed to deal with, I went spinning. I'll be honest with you, I went spinning. And then I did a lot of reading, did a lot of meditation, did a lot of prayer, looked honestly at myself, and I kept asking myself, okay, what's the lesson? What's the lesson? And I asked for help. I asked Spirit to guide my thoughts of feeling hurt, and my thoughts of feeling frustrated. I had some anger in there too, to be perfectly honest with you. And I asked for help. I asked to be guided towards love, to be guided away from fear. I went back to a place of meditating, like I said, reading and journaling, and really asking the questions. But the point of it all is we're all the same. We're all connected. We all have our good days. We all have our bad days. We all have our in-between days. And you know what? We all just deserve to be happy, to be fulfilled, to be loved, and to love ourselves. It's a really important lesson in my life that I have to keep reminding myself about, to love myself first, and then extend myself to others, and how much greater capacity I will have as an already very loving person towards other people. But if I could dig really deep and truly and unconditionally love myself first, my capacity to love other people just is tenfold from there. So I enjoy all of Debbie Ford's work. I love her work. I'm so grateful for her insight and her wisdom and her knowledge. So I would, definitely encourage you. It doesn't have to be this book. Any of her work is fabulous. But beyond that, it's not just about reading her books. I just really wanted to express, the impact that the lessons are having on me and my life. And I'd like to reach out and be able to offer that to somebody else. Because I know you're out there, I know you're feeling a lot of the things that I feel at different points and times in your life. And just know that you are loved. Spirit loves you, God loves you, the universe loves you. Everything's out there to support you and encourage you and guide you to have a fabulous life. So remember, when times are tough and you feel really crappy and you think that life is just sucking, because we all do at some point, remember, you can just give up and surrender. Love yourself first. Look in that mirror and remind yourself of how beautiful you are, how deserving you are. Love yourself first. And from there, extend yourself to others. Thanks for stopping in. I'm Nancy Battye, PureVitaLifestyle.com. Come and check us out.